Lakeside neighbor says that he's been getting several parking tickets and can't figure out why. We're working for you to find out what's going on.
The desperate search for a missing 5-year-old girl out of LA continues after the car she was last seen in was parked here in San Diego near the border. Millete murder trial week 2. Chula Vista police are still on the stand, walking jurors through what they found days after Maya disappeared. I'll tell you about a handwritten letter and the computer search history.
A new outbreak of the Ebola virus has local doctors sounding the alarm. I have more on local cases of the virus.
After 37 years, Pacifica Del Mar says they'll be closing their doors at the end of the year. The reason why, coming up.
Very frustrating, and then it's on your mind all the time. It's like more money out of my pocket, more money.
A Lakeside man says he's done everything right, but the county keeps sending him parking tickets, and now he says he can't even fight those. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The man reached out to us for help, trying to get more clarity. News 8's Abby Black is working for you to get to the bottom of it.
Dan Scott says that he's been able to park behind this no parking sign for years without any issues. Well, then recently he and some neighbors have been getting tickets. Well, he's tried to contest it and can't find out why. We're working for you to find out what's going on and what these arrows mean on no parking signs.
These are the parking violations.
3 parking tickets since February, including 2 over the weekend on Julian Avenue near Channel Road in Lakeside at $62.50 each. Dan Scott says he can't figure out why.
The code is 72.117, posted no parking.
We traced that to a San Diego County ordinance about no parking in designated zones, but it says nothing about what the arrows on the signs actually mean.
No arrow facing to the east, which means it's legal to park to the east.
Scott shared pictures of several cars with yellow tickets tucked under their windshields, all appearing to be parked within the legal zone. He also shared Ring doorbell video capturing a parking enforcement officer in the act. So Scott called the number on the ticket and spoke to a sergeant.
Why are they ticketing now? People have been parking there for 40 years. She said, oh, well, they're just getting away with it, and we just now caught it. I said, that's not true. I said, you're wrong.
We did our own digging, checking the California manual on uniform traffic control devices. Here's the short version. The arrow points to where parking is restricted. So a left-facing arrow means don't park behind the sign. A right-facing arrow means don't park ahead of it. And arrows in both directions don't park on either side.
But as far as I'm concerned right now, it's legal parking for everybody.
What's even more frustrating, Scott says he can't fight it.
Once you punch in the ticket and everything it tells you to, it just says can't find it. And I tried for 30 days.
While he was waiting, the first ticket hit his DMV record. We found under California law, unpaid parking fines can be collected at registration. And by then, late penalties and fees had stacked on top.
And I can't contest it now, or I won't be able to re-register my Jeep. So that was really frustrating. It's like, come on now.
The county tells News 8 drivers who believe they were ticketed in error can request an administrative review within 21 days of the citation, but it did not address why the online system failed to find Scott's ticket number.
If they would just send somebody out and let's talk about the signs, but they don't. They just seem to think that they're in the right and everybody else is wrong. And that's very, very frustrating.
Working for you in Lakeside, Abby Black, News 8.
Remember, if there's something you'd like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com.
The search is intensifying tonight for a 5-year-old Los Angeles girl whose father is now wanted on suspicion of killing her mother. A surveillance image shared with News 8 appears to show Ruben Fregoso with his daughter Deleza walking out of a parking structure in San Ysidro last night. Police believe the two fled to Mexico after Fregoso killed the child's mother in Los Angeles. The two are still missing, and police say Fregoso should be considered armed and dangerous. News 8's Shannon Handy will have more on this story in our next half hour.
Testimony continued today in the Millete murder trial, centered on what Chula Vista police observed at Larry and Maya's home in the days after they believe Maya was killed.
The body of the mother of 3 has never been found, but her husband is charged with her murder. Cameras are also not allowed inside the courtroom.
News 8's Jenny Day was inside listening to the testimony today and taking notes. She joins us live tonight from the South Bay Courthouse with what happened in court today. Jenny?
Yeah, Carlo, Marcella, it has now been nearly 2 days of questioning for Chula Vista police, including the officers who first responded to the home after Maya's sister called 911 saying that no one had been able to get a hold of her. So officers testified saying that there were no obvious signs of a struggle in the home. There was no blood found in the home, but they also say there were no signs that she left on her own. For example, suitcase is still there, her car, credit cards out on the desk. They also say they checked with Border Patrol and checkpoints and Ubers, and they say there is no evidence that shows Maya ever left that home. We are now in week 2 of the Miliete murder trial. The big takeaways from Chula Vista police testimony include a letter Maya wrote to Larry 4 months before she vanished. All that was searched and seized as the investigation evolved and what turned up in those searches. Chula Vista police say this letter, shown today and during the preliminary hearing, detail how unhappy she was in their marriage. Maya writing in part, "We are fighting, it's unhealthy, it's toxic. Let me find my peace. I cannot find it with you." When officers initially arrived at the house, they say Larry let them in. The kids were asleep. He was still optimistic Maya would return from a hike, but Maya's sister was concerned. Officers interviewed them each separately and spent a few hours searching the home. Officers testified while showing footage of their body-worn cameras that there were no signs of foul play. The defense noting Larry fully cooperated. 2 weeks and 2 days later, several search warrants were issued for cell phones, tablets, hard drives, and vehicles. 9 months later, Larry's office was searched. Photos of his family were up in his cubicle. Any and all evidence was bagged and transported to the crime lab. Chula Vista police say searches found on a home computer include how to mentally torture someone and can you track an iPhone if it's on airplane mode. They also seized the couple's Lexus and Jeep. Prosecutors say Larry used the SUV to dump Maya's body some 200 miles away. The detective said he noticed a spot and some streaking from a liquid on the side walls and cargo mat, but the product luminol that can detect the presence of blood, even if attempts have been made to clean up, only showed further testing was needed. 2 digital forensic examiners took the stand next, saying one examined Maya's work computer, another extracted data from their vehicles. The defense arguing it's possible data can be lost if not done properly. So just to recap, witness testimony since the start of this trial also includes the law firm receptionist who says Maya contacted them the very day that she disappeared. Also her friend, father, and sister all testifying about the couple's marriage, and now Chula Vista police. So a lot more to come. I will add that Larry continues to stand and look jurors right in the eye every time they come and go from the courtroom. And of course, Maya's family has also been here every day. Live in Chula Vista, Jenny Day, News 8.
Still much to go in this trial. Jenny Day reporting for us. Thanks, Jenny. And you can watch our coverage of the Miliete case with the CBS 8 app on your phone or TV. Stream now for free.
The U.S. is tightening its Ebola travel restrictions because of the ongoing outbreak in Africa.
The move comes just weeks before the U.S. is about to welcome an influx of visitors from around the world. News 8's Alex Cheney joins us with the potential local impacts after talking to an infectious diseases doctor. Alex.
Yeah, Carlo, the concern is that the people traveling from these 3 African countries coming to there or coming from there could infect others as they travel. According to the World Health Organization, at least 220 people have died from Ebola in Central Africa, and at least 900 more possible cases have been identified this year. The latest outbreak is caused by the Bundibugyo virus, a strain of Ebola, which has no vaccine and no special treatment, and is the 3rd largest outbreak of Ebola on record.
We in San Diego should be informed but not alarmed.
Dr. William Sang is the Assistant Chief of Staff for Kaiser Permanente San Diego. He says right now there are no confirmed cases in San Diego and no cases in the U.S. He says Ebola spreads through direct contact with an infected person's blood or sweat, making it more difficult to pass on the virus.
It is serious, but it doesn't spread through the air like COVID.
Last week, the Center for Disease Control said all airline passengers from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Uganda, or South Sudan must arrive at one of 3 airports: Atlanta, Washington, D.C., or Houston's Bush Intercontinental Airport. Travelers arriving from those countries will be escorted to designated areas where they will undergo health screenings.
The screening that you're hearing about is really a precautionary measure, and it's mostly travel-related risks.
San Diego International Airport is not included on the list, but the city says they are aware of the outbreak, saying in a statement today, the county has bi-directional information sharing and communication with CDPH and the CDC. We continue to monitor the DRC, South Sudan, and Uganda outbreak situation. Dr. Sang says it's important to start precautionary and educational measures now before Ebola becomes a larger issue.
I think we should be aware, we should stay informed, but there's not a reason to be alarmed at this point.
Now, the city of San Diego has an entire 2026 Ebola webpage. You can go on and find more facts from the city about how to protect yourself and your family. You can find a link to that webpage on our website, cbs8.com. Reporting live, I'm Alex Cheney. Back over to you.
All right, there's new measures coming into place in just the next few hours. Thanks so much, Alex. After 37 years, a Del Mar staple is closing its doors at the end of the year.
Pacifica Del Mar has been a popular North County spot for tourists and locals alike. News 8's Steffi Roche joins us live from Del Mar after talking to their team there about the decision to close. Steffi?
That's right. Pacifica Del Mar plans to close in December. It's a restaurant that's been here in this exact same spot at the Del Mar Plaza since 1989. Now, today I caught up with their head chef, J.T. Hutchins. He tells me they were actually the very first business here at the Plaza. Hutchins has been with the restaurant for 30 years now. And I asked him why, after all this time, Pacifica plans to close.
That's honestly a question I think you're going to have to check with the Del Mar Plaza owners and management. As I said earlier, we've been here a long, long time. We've kind of been the anchor of this plaza. But unfortunately, our lease is up and they're not willing to renew it. It's going to be a little bit rough on the staff, I think, because we're kind of like a family. We've had a lot of people work here for a long, long time, myself included.
Now, the Del Mar Plaza confirmed with me this afternoon it has made the decision not to renew the lease for Pacifica and that they are saddened to see them leave, but that, quote, Del Mar Plaza has made a commitment to a new and exciting restaurant operator whom we believe will enhance the needs of the community while bringing new life and energy to the city of Del Mar. We look forward to announcing the new operator in the coming months. And meanwhile, Hutchins tells me they are looking and hoping to find a new space to continue Pacifica, but really nothing is set at this time. But for now, reporting live from Del Mar, I'm Steffi Roche, News 8.
Thanks, Steffi. We are only 1 week away from California's primary election, and tonight there's a request from Governor Newsom for counties across the state.
We'll tell you those details still ahead. Plus, if you're overwhelmed or annoyed by those pesky political texts, you're not alone. We're working for you to share how candidates are even getting your information and what you can do to stop it.
And how San Diegans are stepping up for people still impacted by an ongoing chemical leak in Orange County.
There's a little bit of light that we are seeing from our Mount Soledad cam that is right over downtown, but we still have a lot of cloud cover out there. Still looking at a chance we could see some patchy drizzle with a deepening of that marine layer and also those cooler than usual temperatures. We'll take a look at your complete forecast after the break.